Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, A.J. Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Damon's on his way. I guess he had to go do something. He got all that sound effects, so I ain't got all that applause stuff. Welcome to the show. You tuned in to the Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday, 6 to 8, simulcasted live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and everywhere else they allow us to. So what's up, sister?
Well, first I want to say welcome, Black Westchester, because the storm been storming, and community, the only way community get through this is by staying together. So I just want to remind people to check on your elders, check on the vulnerable, check on each other, take a breath, because you in the right place. People Before Politics. Go ahead, AJ. What we got tonight? What we got going on tonight?
I don't know. David got a lineup. He should be here soon. I'm listening. I finished. I had to shovel. I had to do some shoveling. I had to take a break so I could do the show, and then I got to go back out there and shovel a little bit more. So I'm like, and then I got a NAACP executive meeting at 9. So I don't listen.
Are you busy?
Yeah, man. It just don't stop. Like it don't stop. Like I got to put some light on. I'm not lit enough. I look like a black spot.
Well, I got to borrow a shovel to get my car out.
Oh,
I ain't even go outside yet.
Yeah. So I know Kobe's going to come on and she's going to talk about her situation. Mm-hmm. And Damon has some, I think the African American Advisory Board talking about the asthma in the Black community. Mm-hmm. And then for the last hour, we will have Derek Williams, the officer, the Mount Vernon police officer, along with Mike Hannon, retired White Plains police officer. He wrote an article about it, and former Mount Vernon police officer Donnie Moore, Star Child. They all gonna be here, and them and Damon and us are gonna have a conversation about it, about their upcoming rally that they're doing.
This is gonna be a packed show.
Yeah, evidently. But Damon has some last minute family duties to handle at the last minute, I guess, and he had to run out and take care of that and should be back, hopefully, very shortly, because he got the setup. Like, he know this stuff real good. I just appear these days, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I never really sat there and learned. I have to find me some light. I need some light. I need to be lit. I'm not lit. You look all bright and radiant, and I'm like dark.
I only look bright and radiant because I was on a podcast earlier and I looked at my face and I was like, I forgot to put the light on. I look like a ghost. Everybody else looks golden.
So, you wrote an article recently, been getting a lot of good feedback. I think the last thing you wrote about, you talk about that. Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins' open house. A lot of people who read that really liked it and left comments. You text me or left comments and stuff. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, first I need to address, I wish they would leave the comments exactly under the article so I can address them properly, negative or positive. Please keep the conversation going. Social currency is currency.
Absolutely.
If you ain't got it, social currency, comment.
Yo, that's a conversation that Damon and I have been having for 11 years, going on 12 years now. Yo, if you read something or see something on blackwestchester.com and you feel moved negatively or positively, you agree or disagree, instead of leaving comments on Facebook, and I appreciate the text messages and all that stuff, but leave the comment in the comment section under the article or editorial or whatever it is that you're commenting on, because you don't understand your comment. Sometimes the next reader will read something and it will inspire them to add their feedback. And this dialogue is what we trying to do, and it is great for the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? And the more y'all comment, the more attention the site gets and all that good stuff, and all that algorithm stuff. So let's have the conversation right there. It's the comment section. It's called the comment section. And be like, yo, someone actually told me, oh, I'm just asking them to leave a comment so that I could help our algorithm. Well, listen, let's analyze that. Yeah, I would want you to leave a comment on our website for our article to help our algorithm than commenting on the post, something on Facebook and helping Facebook's algorithm. So when you comment on Facebook, you're not helping, you helping Facebook. So yeah, I do want you to comment, and I want to create that dialogue. That's another thing. It's like, we all come from different lenses. We all see things differently. There's been a few times I've written something and somebody presented us from a different lens, and I was like, you know what? I didn't ever look at it that way. And so we get that sometimes, but I will say, be respectful. If you're going to disagree, make your point. Make it without all the 4-letter words and name calling and all that. Because don't come for us like that. Because this is not that kind of site. So, you know what I'm saying?
But even the comment of it's increasing our, advancement on the algorithm, it increases yours too. You have power to cultivate what comes to you. So if you comment on different websites, guess what? That's the same content they're going to feed to you. So you want to be in tune, especially the Black Westchester. You want to be in tune to the news. Where you getting your news from? Make sure you get it. Make sure it continues to come to you. The only way that happens is if you comment, if you like, if you share, if you engage. It's your community. We talking for the people. It's your community. Let us see what we need to be talking about. We need to know what you want to hear.
So I had a few calls this week. I'm not going to say names. I had a few calls this week. So let me just say, I've had this conversation, and it's kind of getting old for me to continue to have this conversation. I have no problem with you criticizing something that you see or hear on Black Westchester. But if you are going to criticize it, do us the courtesy of at least reading it or watching it. Not telling me something that somebody told you. Because then I'll be like, well, we had that in the other article. Did you see it? Oh, I don't read Black Westchester. So why are you in my face? Or why are you on my phone? Or why are you having a conversation with me about what's on Black Westchester and you don't read Black Westchester? The same thing with, hey, Richard Miller's. So same thing with the show. I get told often, Damon said, that's not exactly what Damon said. And Damon will say certain things. Damon's a grown-ass man and he can defend himself. But that's not what he said. Mm-hmm. And they were like, oh, I said, well, did you see the show? Oh, no, I don't watch the show. So why are you having a conversation with me about what's on the show? Like, again, there's nothing that we can't be critiqued or be criticized, or you might think we're wrong on a certain issue. I have no problem with that. But do me the courtesy of at least reading what was written or hearing what was heard or what was said before you come for me. Because you come to me crazy, you know what? I'm going to be 60 in 12 days. And they say once you get 50, that dimmer switch, that I don't give a fuck, dimmer switch goes off. Like, I'm just saying, like, I have less and less patience. So if you come to me It may be wrong, but I'm not always gonna respond responsibly. Like I'm just gonna be like, yo, I'm just gonna be honest. So that being said, and then a lot of times people are hearing things and they repeat what they hear, or they're told things. And I say this to all our listeners, those listening now, those are gonna watch later, because there's a lot of you who do the replay gang. Y'all watch it later because y'all don't want your name to show up, and I have no problem with that. So but then y'all comment on it, so I know that y'all, you tell me about it, so I know y'all seen it. But where was I at? I am not to test your patience too. I try not to test your patience too much, good brother. Shout out to Dr. Bob. Yo, just be. Oh, there you go. The man with the plan. Who's the man with the master plan? Yo, he's in the house. So now we didn't get to do all that good stuff with the sound effects and all that and applause. That's you got all that over there. So we just went straight in the intro and straight into the show. Was just talking about people calling and saying things and not giving us the courtesy. Not giving us the courtesy. Not giving us the courtesy to at least have watched and read what we said before you criticize. Like, criticism is I have no problem with the criticism, but don't go by what somebody else said. And not only that, not just Black Westchester. I need our people to stop hearing things from other people, not checking to see if it's true, and then passing it on and furthering the BS, the rumors, the propagandas. And you didn't even check for yourself. You know why that's dangerous? So here's the scenario, and I said this years ago too, but let me do this again. So Lanez, I'm just using you as an example. Somebody I trust, somebody I know well. So you told me. Now I'm listening to you because you're my people, and I know you don't usually say things out of pocket without knowing about it. So I'm assume you know what you're talking about. You say it to me. Now I say it to a bunch of my people who have that same belief in me, that they think, I know what I'm talking about, and I wouldn't say. So now I'm saying it, and then they go share it with people who, and this is how this gets out. And nobody checked to see if any of this was true. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that's the problem with this. So we have to do better and looking things up ourselves and not just sharing everything we see. There's a lot of there's AI videos. Like I seen one, and I had to go look it up. It was New York City cops arresting ICE in the subway. I looked that up. That was an AI video that did not exist. That was not true. But everybody, all the Black people I knew was sharing it. All the Black I Googled. It said there is a fake AI fake video. This did not happen. Quick Google check. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look into things and not just go ahead and share things just because somebody shared it with us and repeat. We keep passing on false information and bullshit. So I want to just say that. I hope everybody's warm and safe, and all that good stuff. Got the wait. So Damon, so here's the joke. So I saw something on the news, and I was like, the guy was saying, "What's up with all the sixes?" So listen. So the 10 worst storms in New York history, 4 or 5 of them in the top 6 all end in 6. 1996, we got 27 inches in January. 2006, we got 20 inches in January. 2016, we got like 18.9 inches, and that was 2026. So my sister was joking. She said, those are all years you turn another decade. My 30th, my 40th, my 50th, my 60th. So she said, wow. so I was just like, I saw that on the news, and that was the little joke me and my sister had earlier today.
Right. So
go ahead.
Yeah, we have a tight schedule.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Brother, I see Brother Meggett. Is Kobe coming on? He's just not here, brother. Brother Meggett, can you hear us?
He
All
can
right,
hear me.
I know, but we can't hear him. Right. So I'm gonna bring the brother on. Hey, good evening, brother.
How's it going, man? How you guys doing?
Fine, man. Fine. We apologize. We got a tight show today. So is Sister Kobe coming on?
She's supposed to be meeting me on.
Coming on right now.
Oh, there you go.
There she goes.
I just texted her, where you at? Where you at?
Right.
I was trying to get on. I was like, wait a minute. It was making me go through this and that.
Yeah, man. We got a full show, and in the green room is a legend. If she hear me, she gonna start laughing. In the green room is a legend. Barbara Esquire is in the green room, so we gonna make sure we get on in time because we definitely want to talk about the African American Advisory Board. But yeah. I know both of y'all are here to discuss an issue, Kobe, with your father. And while y'all discussing, I'm going to try to bring up big shout out to Mike Lawler, giving your father a shout out in Congress. But let's get right to the story, and we could talk about what we're trying to do and the goals, and for people to understand what's going on, brother.
Sister Kobe, I need you to turn your camera and your mic on. Your mic is off and your camera is off. I need you to turn both of those on so we can see you when you speak. Okay.
You might have to log out.
I hope you can hear me. Yeah, she's muted and her picture's going in and out. So I don't know what she's doing. Her mic's on now. We just need your camera on now so we can see your pretty face while you talk. So whilst we're figuring it out,
brother Megan.
Yeah, can you talk about why y'all here today and what y'all are here to discuss?
Well, yes. Kobe reached out to me about her dad. You know what I mean? Her father's a veteran. I do veteran advocacy, and basically, there's a lot of questions that I have. He recently passed, but I feel he didn't have to pass away. I think the system might have grossly failed him, from the VA to the ambulance, to his care providers, to the psychiatric folks. They all, they weren't on one accord, and because of that, she reached out to me, and this is a very alarming issue that veterans are facing, and we're starting to see what the end result if we don't step up as veterans, what would happen to we got to prevent what happened to him to happen to any other veteran in America. Right. It's really an atrocity. Kobe, would you like to chime in?
Yes, first of all, thank you so much, Black Westchester Magazine, all three of you, for allowing us to be able to come on and shed some light of this situation, because if not my father, somebody else's father.
That's right.
Someone else's loved one could go through something so horrific. Upon my father entering the emergency room, it was destined that they send him home. And everyone knows no one wants to be in an emergency room, right? Well or not. And he was able to tell them that he was fine, and they believed he was fine, and they sent him right back home into the situation of which the social worker just took him out of. He wasn't well. His well-being in his home was not correct, and they sent him home at 7:30 in the morning in a worse condition of which he went to the hospital in, wrapped in a sheet in the freezing cold with only his underclothes on. He went home, got home to be met by the roommate who grandstanded at the door and said, "Hey, this man shouldn't be here. He needs to be in the hospital." They still preceded the ambulance, and they also had a duty of care, the EMTs, to make sure that he was going back into a safe environment. They could have called the hospital and said, hey, this environment is not safe, it's not in order, and he needs to come back to the hospital. They didn't even do that. They laid him right back on his bed and left the duty of care on his roommate, who has issues himself and is a senior citizen. Okay, when he went to go help my dad to the restroom, he was unable to help him single-handedly. He had to use both hands with force to help him up off of his bed, took him to the bathroom, left him there. Guess what? Because he's not a caretaker. So once he left my dad in the bathroom, he forgot about him. And when he went back to the bathroom, my father was collapsed in his own urine on the floor. Wow. He thought that my dad hit his head. He's calling me on the phone. Guess what? Because he's not a caretaker. He's not trained in lifting. He's none of those things. So what happens? He calls me instead of calling 911, where we lost vital time. We're on the phone for over 5 minutes trying to get him off the phone to call 911. And finally, once he did get 911, the fire department came, tried to resuscitate my dad. Then the ambulance came to try to resuscitate him. Now, mind you, my dad lives off of Fordham Road. We know that's traffic heaven over there. Okay? And by the time he got to St. Barnabas Hospital, he was pronounced dead in less than 8 hours later after leaving the hospital. Now, this in itself is a tragedy that could have been prevented.
Yes.
The organizations that work with the veterans, they are clueless to.
Can I jump in real quick, Kobe?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So what raises my what hits my radar is that you have these service providers that are willing to take this money, but they're not. He's a number. He's a receipt. They're not doing the work. So what I want the state to do is to get more aggressive in their audit on how they are caring for veterans. But our issues are federal issues. It's coming from the very top. And needless to say, every single president has had reservations of privatizing the VA, which is absolutely a mistake. But this president has been very bold and blunt about it. And what's happening if we don't come up with some type of, if veterans don't galvanize and start to show our face, because veteran issues is a faceless, nameless issue. So they're able to do whatever they want to do because there's no one pushing back. If veterans don't galvanize, we're going to see more cases like Mr. Oliver Jenkins, who, God bless his soul.
Exactly. Has there been any? Now I'm loading up the video now. Hopefully it loads up of Congressman Mike Lawler saying words in Congress, putting it on the record of what happened to your father and giving condolences to your father. Is there any movement through Lawler or any contact to bring more awareness to our elected officials, especially in Washington, D.C.?
Go ahead, Kobe. I'm sorry.
We've been in touch with the Bronx Borough President's office, who has been fantastic. We've reached out to Congress, and we are just continuing to push the needle. But they wouldn't even give us a simple autopsy. I'm just saying, this is a situation. In addition, we haven't even been able to get into my father's room. The social worker has literally ghosted my family. So we couldn't get any of his documents, his clothing, nothing. Still to this day, and my dad has been gone, and we finally was able to lay him to rest on Wednesday, the 21st. After all of this, we couldn't get his paperwork. We had to get everybody on deck to help us to get his DT-214 so he can have a proper burial. It has been a whirlwind.
So I also started a campaign called End Veteran Poverty Now, because the root of veterans issues is poverty. Poverty is like a virus in the veteran community, and its symptoms is PTSD, suicide thoughts, unemployment, underemployment, you know, food insecurity, just like everyone else. But I always urge veterans. I'm a combat veteran. I fought in the first Gulf War. I don't run away from my exception. I run to it. Veterans are
Right.
ordinary people that have done extraordinary things. And the extraordinary thing that they done was they lift up their right hand and they swore to protect the Constitution of the United States. So with that said, I run to my exception, and I always urge veterans to absolutely to do the same. I also chair George Latimer's veteran civilian veteran board, and I
Good.
plan on bringing this to our next meeting next month.
Good.
There's
Good.
got to be a
Good.
level of care and responsibility, but veterans are we're disposable. Once we've served, we're disposable, and you know, I just find that it's an atrocity what happened to this man. But like America, we love to wag our fingers at our adversaries, and say that on their human rights issues. But the last time I checked, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, nor Venezuela has a homeless veteran crisis, but we do. So how
Exactly.
hypocritical do we look? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I hope you're on George Lattimore's. You're chairing,
I
and
chair that committee. Yes, I do.
we're about to play. Mike Lawler. I hope we could, instead of all this whatever's going on down in Congress, that a Republican and a Democrat can come together, right? Without the BS,
That's right.
without all the
Without
stuff that's going
foolishness.
on. I call it as I see it. Without all the stuff, and get something done for the veterans. That's the way government used to work.
Yep.
I don't know, especially for the veterans. And that's something. Get with Mike Lawler.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Create some oversight. Create a bill.
Exactly. And I'm not going to stop until one is done.
Right. Not everything is, we're going to fight each other, when we have a common enemy and there's an issue that affects people that gave their lives to this country. It shouldn't be. It should be a bipartisan effort. It shouldn't be this adversary that we see in government right now.
You want to hear something interesting, Damon? Prior to Vietnam, the 50% of Congress served in the military. After Vietnam, the numbers dwindled. Like today, it's like you just have a handful. It's very spotty. Wow. And so we gotta really figure out too. Once upon a time, being a veteran was an admirable thing to be. But if you press a lot of these kids today about going into the military, you know what their answer is? I don't want PTSD. I don't want to be homeless.
That's right.
And that's a very bad stigma that we're carrying.
Right.
This is the best. Right. And I have a theory. I don't know how, I don't have enough. I have a hypothesis. I don't have enough to draw a conclusion, but I feel like prior to Vietnam, every other war before Vietnam was fought segregated. It was fought through segregation. When we got to Vietnam, it was supposedly equal rights. And, I think that's where the backlash, but, it's something I'm still working on and researching because I don't have enough.
Listen, I would love to have that conversation with you because.
Yeah, I would love to too, man, about black disparities in the black, amongst black veterans and soldiers.
Yeah.
Because it's real. It definitely exists.
Right. And a lot of it has to do, that we come back to communities that lack economic development, that lack black businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like veterans will come back to the black community, to a black community that really don't have anything to basically help
Nothing.
them. Other
Nothing.
ethnic groups
They
go
don't have the
home
resources.
and their family members got
Exactly.
businesses. They got pizza parlors. They got restaurants. They got this. They got that. Black veterans come back, and they're really starting at the bottom because the Black community really don't have anything to sustain them. You know, so you know that conversation, man. I would love to have with you and love for you to come back on, and we could have that conversation, because I think that's part of the recipe. That's an ingredient in the recipe of Black economic survival. You know,
Absolutely.
And, you know, I would love it. But I want to play Mike Lawler, a Republican, giving his condolence and giving a shout out to Kobe's father.
Is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to honor the life of Oliver Ali Jenkins, a proud Bronx native whose presence left a lasting mark on his family and community. Born and raised in the Bronx, Ali came from a close-knit, hardworking family whose small businesses were fixtures in their neighborhood. Those values stayed with him throughout his life. In 1971, Ali answered the call to serve our country, enlisting in the United States Army and serving honorably, including time stationed in Germany. Like too many veterans, he later carried the invisible wounds of service, facing PTSD with courage and the steadfast support of those who loved him. Ali was gentle, kind, and unforgettable, known for his laugh, his jokes, his love of karate and Bruce Lee, and for proudly representing the Bronx everywhere he went. He was a devoted father and grandfather, a loyal brother, uncle, and neighbor, and a familiar, beloved presence in our community. He leaves behind a family who cherished him deeply, especially his daughter Kobe, and a legacy built in love, perseverance, and deep faith. May his memory be a blessing to all who knew him. I yield back.
That's beautiful. Big shout out, big shout out to Congressman Mike Lawler for doing that and putting it on the record. You know, just proves that, you know, it don't matter what side you're on.
That's right.
Humanity and decency can survive.
Exactly.
You know?
And
I
it
wanna
was
say-
a nice tribute. It was a beautiful gesture for him to even think to do something like that, you know, and I'm grateful. You know, I am eternally grateful to all those that stepped in, even Andrea Stewart Cousins' office who stepped in. You know, we had representation from County Legislator Jewel Williams Johnson, in addition to City Council member Shane Ocean Laurier. We had support. It's just the ones that can have the oversight. His representative from the Bronx, crickets. And this is the type of situation. Even the social workers from the SC, say it again. SUS, Services for the Underserved, the Jewish Board. They didn't even know that my siblings, they thought my father had only one child. They didn't even know we exist.
Wow.
They thought he was a bum. It's what they thought. He was just a bum veteran. He ain't got no body. And we just, you know, going through the motions. Like Kevin said, to his point, just a number. We don't even know how much money he got on a check. Nothing. His matter of fact, the social worker texted my sister and said, "Oh, this is how much money he got. This is what he used to get." That is not professional.
Right.
I want to say one thing real quick, and this is not Democrat, Republican. One thing I say about Mike Lawler, he understands constituent services. And regardless of what side, I've talked to several people in his district who have specifically reached out to Mondier, who had that seat before, and could not get him to come see about them. And then when Lawler got there, he helped them with their issues. He helped you before this. You were one of those people. And I say this to our elected officials, and especially some of our Democrats. I'm not going to call y'all out tonight, but some of my Democrats, because I've had conversations with y'all, constituent services is a very important thing. A lot of times, it doesn't matter who you believe, and he can love Trump and vote for all Trump's votes, but the people in his community will continue to vote for him, because when they needed them, when they needed him for their issue, he showed up.
Mhm.
And I hope a
Yes.
lot of our elected officials hear this and get this. This is the problem with politics sometimes, because when we call those who are in those positions of power, they're not there for us.
Yes.
We're the ones who voted them in, but they're not there for us for our issues. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
the ones that you like, no matter what else Mike does in his life, you're going to remember the 2 or 3 things he did for you. The people
Absolutely.
are going to remember the things he did for them, and the several other people in his district that he showed up for. He also, when that girl got snatched up from Scarsdale in the ICE raid, coming out of trying to get her thing, and she got sent to Louisiana. The Democrats called him, and he made a phone call and helped get that girl back to Scarsdale.
Mm.
And you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that just shows that, and I say that to say, because of Damon's thing, I hope we can work together. So, I hope that George Latimer does reach out to him, and I hope that they come together and they do something and work for this situation, because he has shown that he will work if you bring him the right situation. So, and that's what we need to, in this divided situation we're in now, where it's this side and this side. Doing what the people need for you to do is what is the most important thing. That's I just wanted to say that.
Yes, most definitely. And I definitely want to give a special shout out to Joyce, who helped me from Austin to obtain this DD 214. I mean, the hardest form possible to get if you do not know how to get it. And no one from the veterans on down was able to help us to really access it the way that she was able to help me. So I shout out to her. It took so many people to come together with me just to get it accomplished and to make sure father was able to be not just funeralized properly, but buried properly where he deserved to be buried at, in Calverton National Cemetery, with dignity, with honor. He was able to get the taps at the service, the fold down of the flag. None of that would have been possible if I had not reached out to all of the people that we reached out to, and everyone came together to make this happen. But it took, look how long it took.
Right.
And that shouldn't be.
Well, the federal government doesn't make it easy to obtain your benefits. What they won't do is, once you're able to prove it, they'll give it to you. But they will not help you at all. You like Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald. You're on your own. You know what I mean? So,
that's how I felt.
But once you're able to prove your case, they won't deny you either.
They definitely did.
Right.
Shout out to Cookie Alexander Campbell. She said, for the information and sharing, Westcott has a SSVF, Supportive Services for Veterans and Families, and we have offices in Westchester, Rockland, Ulster, and Sullivan County. We deal with homelessness as well as outreach. And then she gave her phone number. So for anybody else who may be dealing with a situation like this, if you forget the information, contact us, and I will definitely connect you with her.
And I urge all veterans to register with the VA, because there is a tsunami of cuts coming our way. In fact, February 24th, during the State of the Union, I plan on holding a Veteran State of the Union in Washington, D.C. Because I'm not, they taught us how to fight. I mean, there's a real fear, because veterans can get things done. We are very proactive. I think that there's a real fear, not that we could, not only we could save this democracy, but we can actually take it over. I'm in favor personally of having, AJ and Damon, there are ghost towns in the state of New York. I'm sure you guys are aware of that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Why not? Why can't we have a veteran community? Why don't you incentivize veterans to go live in one of these ghost towns and build it up? Because there's a real fear that we will take over this democracy.
Yeah, but brother, that's why we gotta bring you on another show so we can have these conversations, because the amount of money that local, county, state, federal is spending other places. The amount of money they spend to put people in a homeless shelter or mortgages each person. So like we really have to have a conversation instead of being distracted, you know, on the money that they're actually spending, you know, that can help people live a normal life. But they don't want that, right? They don't want, it look like they don't want homeowners, they just want renters, and want people to be dependent instead of independent and doing for themselves and feeling good about themselves, you know, taking care of themselves. So, you know, and that's the veterans too, because the money that they're spending some places could actually be put in the right place, you know, that can help them, you know, but this government craziness is just not working. And sooner or later, you know, the bubble's going to burst, you know, worse than whatever's going on in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Like because people are hurting, and the only thing the government is doing is asking us for more money. I want to raise your taxes. I want to do this. You gotta pay this. You gotta pay that. You gotta pay this, and we're not getting the services.
So can I make a suggestion? So because we do have a big show,
Kevin, we got another guest.
Get together and let's reschedule so we can get you on. Yes. Kobe, do you have any last words about this situation? And then we're going to move into our next guest.
My last words is thank you to each and every person. Thank you to this show. Every person that intervened on behalf of my father to make sure that we were able to bury him properly, to make sure that his service was absolutely beautiful and that he was honored as a veteran, as a senior, as a Army veteran that served this country in Germany for many years and gave up his life, gave up the life to my mother as a husband, gave up his life to us as a father, because he was no longer in his right mind enough to be able to be any of those things properly to us. I want to thank everyone that really, because you don't know what his children went through because of this. My mother was holding 2 babies in her hand because my father chose to serve this country.
Right.
So I sympathize and I empathize with anyone that their family members go to serve this country, because we know how we sent them there, but we don't know how we're going to get them when they return back home to us.
That's right.
So I want to emphasize my organization. We will have an arm extension to this from Dare to Be Different Westchester that will address veteran issues going forward. I plan on making sure that those that had a hand in this atrocity, that they will be reprimanded for this. Something has to give. Right. And I will stop until there's a bill with my father's name on it, a street naming after my father, because he was no bum on the street. He was a veteran. He was a senior, someone that served this country with honor and dignity. And he gave it all up. He gave it all up. He lost it all for this country, including his children, his wife, everything. He gave it up to serve this country. So I don't want that to go overlooked like he was nothing. He was more than just that. So I thank you all again.
Thank you, sis.
God bless you all.
And let us know. Let us know.
My family and my siblings in prayer.
And let us know what we can do to help.
Well, I just want to say, Kobe, we love you. We're sending you and your family healing energy as you move through this.
Thank you.
And thank you for trusting us with your father's memory and with this moment.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. And Kobe, we'll talk. Brother Megan, we'll talk, because we need to have that conversation for Black veterans, and we need to, you know, and get that data together and see what we could do as a collective, man. We need to do that.
We'll be
thank y'all again, man.
Thank you. We end veteran poverty now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're moving on to our next segment. Damon, you can go ahead and introduce our next guest and what they will be talking about.
Man, I got the opportunity to bring one of my mentors, a great sister, on, Barbara Edwards Esquire. She's the chair of the African American Advisory Board to the county exec, Mr. King Jenkins, and my big brother Marvin Church, who's on the African American Advisory Board, and he's chair of the asthma committee. So let's give them a big Black Westchester round of applause. Oh no, that's not it. There you go.
As we get started, and I shared this information, Marvin, you were supposed to have an event tomorrow, and it's going to be postponed. And I want you to start by just talking about that real quick so people know.
Yes. Good evening, community. Yeah, so we were supposed to have an event tomorrow with the African American Advisory Board Asthma Committee at the Yonkers Riverfront Library tomorrow. But unfortunately, as everybody knows, the weather is really bad. And so we decided on the side of safety to cancel our event tomorrow, but we will reschedule it. I will talk to Madam Chair and my committee to find out when's the next time we could reschedule. But as we go along, yes, the event tomorrow is canceled, but we will have another event next month. We'll be in Elmsford, Greenberg. So we will have an event each month until we finish all the different communities that are part of our committee. But I think it'd be great to start with the Madam Chair so she can discuss more about the African American Advisory Board so people know what it's all about and what we're trying to do.
Well, first, I would like to say good evening to everyone and to thank you for inviting us this evening to the Black Westchester Magazine. It really is a privilege to be here, and we're both honored. And I'd just like to provide a little background. The African American Advisory Board was established by the Westchester County legislators to serve as a voice for African American residents. And its mission essentially is to identify and address disparities impacting our communities. And we are truly dedicated to improving the quality of life for people of African ancestry in Westchester County. From the outset, the board wanted to ensure that decisions were informed by real experiences. So we launched a series of focus groups to hear directly from African American citizens. And these conversations were really eye-opening. They highlighted 4 major areas of concern: economic development, education, housing, health and human services. And doing these focus groups, people spoke about unemployment and limited opportunities to build wealth, underperforming schools, spiraling housing costs, and marginalized health services that often foster dependency rather than empowerment. And with this information, the board took action. The African American Advisory Board formed committees dedicated to each priority area. And these committees designed conferences, forums, both in person and virtual, and collaborated with community and national partners. The board met with the county executive and legislators to share our findings, and pushed for solutions. And of course, we knew that we had to make an impact. So the board developed legal services for residents facing eviction, offered guidance for home buyers, and provided referrals for those experiencing discrimination in housing. We also launched educational initiatives for college readiness and workforce preparation, and health programs addressing conditions like cancer, diabetes, health conditions, and kidney failure, and asthma, and you'll hear more about that, where we are disproportionately affected in the African American community. And let me just point out that the board has also been intentional about raising awareness about the African American history in Westchester. We celebrate our history in two ways. One, we have hosted an annual Trailblazers event for the past 27 years. During this event, we recognize iconic African American leaders in Westchester County. And they are presented an award in the name of an African American who's no longer with us. For example, a business person will be presented an award in the name of Madam C.J. Walker, who lived in Westchester County, and a civic engagement award in the name of Whitney M. Young, who also lived in Westchester County. This year, the Trailblazers Award will be given to Lorraine Hansberry, posthumously, in the name of Ruby Dee, and Ronald Abad, who is the CEO of Community Housing Innovations, in the name of Whitney Young. This event will occur on February 27th at 5:30 at the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. And during this event, we're very proud to say, we will be unveiling the board's revised brochure of the African American Heritage Trail that was designed by the African American Advisory Board to identify sites in Westchester that's significantly related to contributions made by African Americans in the county of Westchester. I'd like to just point out that the board is more than a voice. It is a catalyst for change. And through advocacy, collaboration, and community engagement, the board's goal is to make a real difference in Westchester County. And of course, if more information is needed, you can find that information on the Westchester County webpage, which is www.westchestergov.com. I believe together we can continue building a strong, equitable community. That's
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And you know, part of it is the asthma committee,
Yes.
which full disclosure, I am on the subcommittee. I have to say that, full disclosure. So
A great contributor, by the way.
Thank you. And so the asthma committee and Madam Chair Marvin was started, and how did the cities get picked to really look at how asthma affected African Americans throughout Westchester County? What was the process so people will understand that it wasn't just random cities? It was looked at. There was a way to look at it and to see which of the cities that would be addressed.
Okay, thank you very much for giving that introduction. So this is how we picked the various municipalities throughout Westchester to determine if they were going to be part of the study that we're doing. What we did was that we took there's 40 school districts in Westchester County. Of the 40 school districts in Westchester County, what we did a cutoff of looking at which school districts had a 10% or more population of African American students. And it's unfortunate, we are a dwindling population in this county, Westchester, but I will name you the cities that have a 10% or more African American population in Westchester County. They are New Rochelle, Mount Vernon, Yonkers, Elmsford, Greenburgh, White Plains, and Peekskill. Those are the municipalities, towns, and villages that have a 10% or more population of African American students. So that was my baseline. I know I had a number of phone calls from folks saying, well, why did you pick my city? I said, because I looked at the stats. Certain cities had 8.2%. Some municipalities had 3%. So we see a dwindling population of African-American students throughout Westchester County, which tells you about our future population is going to be within Westchester County. So that's my baseline. So what we've been basically doing from their standpoint, after identifying those 7 communities, we decided to do a tour of throughout Westchester County of those communities and talking about asthma and air quality. So of those 7 communities, we've covered 2 communities thus far, which is Mount Vernon and New Rochelle. We're going to be moving forward to Yonkers as soon as we get a rescheduled date. Elmsford's supposed to be next month in February. Then we have Greenburgh, White Plains, and then Peekskill. And then we'll go back and do Yonkers. But one thing that I've found out is asthma is a major, major problem within our communities. And I've been getting local phone calls recently from even community members saying that their child has now developed asthma, or they have asthma, or things like that. And we've had some really good background and information and stories that people are telling us what they're going through and their families are going through by having asthma. So when I basically have a meeting of a presentation or forum, what I have, which is very interesting to a lot of folks, I have a interactive map selected for those communities. And within those communities, there's different areas in different communities, precincts or community groups or areas within that community. And I can tell what percentage of those communities have asthma, as well as the air quality in those communities. Now, people don't realize air quality is a very big factor in asthma. We have poor air quality outside of our homes and in our homes. People don't realize that. And I always use the quick analogy, and we'll continue further, have further discussion on this. But within a home, most of the homes that were built in southern Westchester County were called balloon frame homes. And when they built the homes, within the structure of the home, they did not have what they call insulation at all. So what they used at that time was newspaper or tar.
Wow.
So when you have a big chilly day like we're having today, it depends on what age your home was built, you don't have the proper insulation in the wall systems to withhold the coldness in that home.
Mm.
But again, if you have newspaper set within a certain period of time, it turns black. And then it turns moldy. And mold and mildew is a big factor in our homes. It affects asthma, as well as gas stoves affects asthma, because the light of that system that we use to cook our food aggravates asthma also. Tree pollen, other areas, but we'll discuss that more when we have the forum. And we also want to find out in the community who's impacted, how we can help the young people and children in the school district, how we can help the community, and what we can do to move forward to resolve some of this issue that we have with asthma in our community. So I just wanted to give you a backdrop of what is actually going on within our communities. And that's what we do. We have these forums so people can be aware of asthma. And if they do have asthma, how we can help those communities improve asthma. And I've just learned recently some of our colleagues, even with food, has an impact on what we do. And I don't want to name names, but I was a young lady that I just recently met through an email through Damon. She gave me some really good input on certain asthma conditions that I wasn't aware of. Madam Chair, I just want, Linus, if you don't mind just talking a little bit about that quickly, and then we'll continue.
Sure. Well, something personal. I had an asthma attack since I haven't had an asthma attack since 1999. And I thought that chapter was behind me. But coming into the new year, I had one, and it made me realize I haven't been moving through life with a full breath. Just I've been adapting. So, my question to both of you before I go into that is how much of what we call asthma and allergies is really our bodies responding to unhealthy environments? And what has to change so our children don't grow up conditioned to hold their breath?
Well, I'll try to answer some of that. Some of it is conditional. It could be impacting within our being. I'm not a doctor, so I have a very great young lady that's on our staff, Manisha Stokely. and Damon's very familiar with this young lady. And Damon,
Yeah, it's my daughter.
We're gonna have further discussions about that in the medical side. And plus, I've been contacted my brother-in-law, who's one of the top nephrologists in the country, and I've been talking to him about on the medical side. He's at UCLA. He's a executive vice president, UCLA Medical School. And so we've been talking about that, of looking at them on the medical side, because we don't have all the information on the medical side. But it's I don't know. It's something I just don't know the answer to that. But we'll be discussing those in the meetings, and we have to get more medical people to be look into the factors of how this has impacted us as human beings in African American community. So I don't have an answer for you. I'm not going to say that I do, because I don't. But I know that in our homes, it has a big impact in our homes and where we live. And the air quality outside has a big impact where we live.
The soaps we use, the air fresheners we use, the cleaning products we use, down to the sirens that we hear outside, are all training our circumstances to impact us in a negative or positive way. So if you go, and I know this in Manhattan, if you go to certain areas in Manhattan, you don't even hear horns blow. You don't hear ambulances. You don't hear police cars. You don't hear them, right? Because in that neighborhood, their nervous system has to be protected. But 10 blocks up, it's loud. We're trained for trauma, right? Everything around us actually impacts us physically, health-wise. It can be an allergen, but if we're not noticing and we're thinking it's the regular degular every day, this is how my circumstances look, we don't know what to pull out. I was talking to Mr. Church about, once I discovered my daughter had the kind of asthma where she didn't have an asthma attack, but she could not push mucus out of her lungs every night. So she was snoring. Wow. I had to change her soap. She had to use a pump. I relearned about asthma myself, but we had to go through it. And if we didn't have the right information, and if we didn't have the right people around us, we might have been misinformed. We might have been making the situation worse because we weren't pulling stuff out of our circumstances. And I'm gonna end with that because I rant.
Could I add that this board, as a result of legislation that was developed by Westchester County, was authorized to seek the very information that you've requested, to gather information so that we will bring back to the legislators. And the idea for that is to make sure that they will then prepare and take action related to our findings. One of the things, and Marvin didn't mention it, but we do talk about it when we meet in the various cities. The pollution in the air from gas emission, from the automobiles, from burning of waste. And, the thing that is just so tragic and unsettling, these are incidents that's occurring in the Black communities. And so that's why it's impacting the African Americans in ways that's disproportionate to some other groups. I'm not saying that others don't have asthma, because they do, but we're looking at the proportionality of that. And so our findings will be presented to the legislators, letting them know this is what we've done. We adhered to the legislation. We heard your authorization. We took it very seriously. We gathered the information. Here it is. Do something.
Right. Right. And
So
let's
we
hope they
developed a
do.
survey. So we developed a survey, and we'll be adding more information onto that survey. And I really appreciate you. And I didn't mean to put you on a spot or anything, but we had a great conversation, and I really enjoyed the conversation, and I learned a lot just talking with you of your trials and tribulations. So it was very useful. Damon, I'm sorry.
No, that's great. No, brother.
The other thing that we
Go ahead,
find
Madam.
when we go to the various cities and making the presentation, we discover there are so many people who are impacted by this condition.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after COVID.
Absolutely.
Especially after COVID.
Right.
Yes.
You know how many people that I know that got the flu or got pneumonia in this period of time since September till now, that the first thing they gave them was an asthma pump before they gave them actual medication.
Wow. Now we've had situations where we've heard in the public that some people can't afford the medicines.
That's what I was about to say.
And that's scary.
Yeah. One lady said her medication was what? $650, $700. I mean, that's literally insane. And you have to choose. Yeah, you got to choose to eat, pay your rent, pay your car note, or to get medication. And that's just insane. It's insane.
And then the same thing, we have increased costs. Go ahead, Damon. Sorry.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, we also have increased costs of our Con Ed bills. So when your child is on a monitor and when you have to use the electrical system, you are hitting with another big cost of your utility bills. So Con Ed just sent me a program that people can, and I'll talk about that when we have our forum. It's called the EAP program, which will help reduce your utility costs for special emergencies like this. So we'll be discussing those things, but electric bills could be really impacted big time with having medicines being used and have to use electricity. Especially for younger children. It's really, really bad. A lot of people, if they can afford a HEPA filter in their home, like they have in airplanes, some people have HEPA filters they're using. So we have to look at all alternatives and listen to the community, what's actually going on with them, and take that data. We've already had New York State Department of Environmental Conservation to speak on with our committees to discuss some of the things that they've done. But we have more things that we have to do within our community to defend for ourselves.
I have a question from the audience. It actually was text to me though. How will they distribute the survey to ensure sufficient participation? I'm sorry.
Well, we have a survey. They will have to come to our meeting when we have our meeting and fill out that survey. That's going to be critical. We want people to come to our meeting so they will be able to we can have a good sampling of what's going on in the community. So that community will have a survey. And if we need to add different questions onto it, we will, but they have to come to the meetings when we come into your community to fill out that survey so we can let the legislature know and even the state folks know what's exactly going on in Westchester County.
Right. And Marvin, I think it's important for everyone to know that notices do go out, flyers are prepared and distributed so that they will know when those meetings will be taking place, where they will be taking place, and what time, so that they'll know where to show up.
Yes.
Right. Black folks got to start coming outside. They got to start coming to forums, and getting information like we used to do in the 90s. We got to get back to, going for the information and coming out and sitting and sharing ideas and sharing information. I think, that's something that's really been, after COVID, it just like died down. Like people really, don't want to do that anymore, but we have to start sitting down and sharing like ideas. That's the only way we're going to come to real solutions, that are not for likes and for clicks and for social media, but real solutions that will change the lives of real people, So, I really commend Marvin and thank you, Madam Chair, for getting out here and trying to give people, the information, that is actually needed for, am I still echoing?
Yes.
Yeah, I got to figure that out.
Well, I just want to say people need to come out to forums like this because it's the information that you get here that encourages our young ones to be doctors, to go and study and actually bring this back to your community to help people that look like you, right? We always are going to other individuals, other cultures to kind of look for a solution, look for the go-to to fix the problem, and we don't look at us to discover or identify the root cause of why we're getting sick.
I am so glad you said that, and I know Damon knows that it resonated with me because we always talk about the problem, but we do not come together as a collective to solve it, and only we can solve it. Nobody's going to come rescue us.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Nobody's rescuing us. We got to do it. We got to do it ourselves on all levels, on all levels. And when we start saying that to ourselves, maybe we start acting. Levels to react to issues. Care begins at home. Absolutely. We definitely have to start. We definitely have to start doing it. And thank you, Marvin, and thank you, Madam Chair, for coming on and giving us this information. Please give the information on how to contact the African American Advisory Board. If anybody that's watching now or watching in the future, when we chop up all the segments and put it back on social media, how they can contact the African American Advisory Board.
Well, the first thing they should do is to look on the webpage. That is www.westchestergov.com. All of the contact information is listed. All of the advisory boards are listed. And if they go to that webpage, they can see how to be in touch with us. And actually, we invite that kind of involvement. I must say that I just commend Marvin and what he has done in being able to look at the issue at hand, reach out to the community, get people involved with the asthma committee, including Damon, who is just a wealth of information and support. And it is through that process that we're going to be able to make a difference. So I mentioned 4 areas that we're focusing on, and the one we're talking about right now happens to deal with health. We need all the help we can get. And with the asthma committee, we've been very fortunate in getting people to step up and come forward and to help in addressing this concern. But we need to have the same kind of commitment in other areas as well.
Thank you.
Question, when is the next meeting? Donna Jackson asks.
I haven't set that up yet. That will be, next meeting will be in Elmsford. I haven't set that date and time up yet. I will get that set up and I'll let everybody know. But I want to thank Black Westchester for helping spread the word. I really appreciate that so much, that you guys are helping us spread the word. And I have to commend you guys for our cancellations and also when we had the we were going to have the meeting. So thank you so much, because people have been reading this social media post. I had a number of people call me after you guys did a social media post of knowing about the meeting. So I really appreciate you guys really being helpful and being supportive and getting the word out. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I certainly want to thank all of you for allowing us to be involved, to share this information. It is so important for us to have this kind of outlet. And I can't thank you enough for providing us this opportunity to share the information so that more people are aware, and hopefully more people will become involved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you both. Thank you both. And everybody have a good night. and we'll be in touch because we still got a lot of work to do. We still
Definitely do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you again. Appreciate
Stay
you.
warm.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
Good night.
As
Thank you.
go into
Okay,
our
good
next
night.
segment. Good night. As we go into our next segment, that Damon set up, I just want to give a shout out real quick. I was on the phone recently. I was in a media AI media training, and I ran into Sandra Blackwell from the Westchester County Press. And a lot of people have been coming up to me telling me, y'all are the only Black press in the neighborhood anymore. They're still around. They they decided not to do print anymore, and they will be available online. So they will still be weekly, and they still kick in, and we still got to support them. So I just want to give them a shout out because they have been the sole African American voice for decades, before Black Westchester. And shout out to Sandra, who I believe just celebrated 40 years. They're going on 100 years, but she's celebrating 40 years with
God
the paper.
bless.
Yeah, so I wanted to shout that out, because we stand on their shoulders and we got to, keep promoting each other. So, Damon, with that, I'm going to let you introduce and get into the start with the next segment.
We're waiting for Donnie to come back, but
Donnie got to turn his camera on. You got to turn the camera on, Donnie.
Yo, Donnie.
My brother, Mike Hannon.
Good evening, sirs. How are you doing, ma'am?
Yes.
Doing well.
Derek, what's happening, brother?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Oh, I'm chilling.
All right.
We waiting to Donnie to come on. But this segment, we're gonna have some discussions because brother Derek, and if those of you that don't know, I wanted brother Derek to come on, and I don't know what happened to Donnie, but when he comes back in, I wanted brother Derek to come on this Wednesday. We're doing a press conference at the Mount Vernon City Hall, and then we're going in and at the city council meeting. And for those who don't know, brother Derek Williams is the Mount Vernon officer that has been suffering from kidney failure, been on dialysis 7 days a week as a result from catching COVID, and they just I don't know what they did in the department. I really don't know. He by law it should have been a work injury, and he should have been covered. And they just botched the paperwork, and he ended up using up all his time. He ended up being off of payroll for 2 years, paying for his and then they want to fire him. Like, this is insane. And we're supporting this brother, and Mount Vernon has to pay what they owe, and brother Derek, just hey man, just speak from the heart, brother. Just speak from the heart on what's going on in your ordeal, and then we'll get the mic and whenever Donnie comes on.
Well, I did 19 years of service there in Mount Vernon, and during the pandemic, did a lot of doubles, triples at times because the job was short. So I just decided to do as much overtime as I can to help out. But there came a time where I got the COVID myself, and it was devastating for me, and my health. So I was out of work for about a month, and then when I came back, my health just continued to decline after COVID, and it reached to a point where I couldn't even work anymore. Couldn't even get out of bed. I was just so weak, and I stayed home for a while before I went to the hospital, and thank God I did at the time, because a couple more days later I could have been dead. But and fast forward to today, and I've been doing dialysis every day for the past 2 years. 9 hours every day. So, I had a few infections where I almost lost my life, but thank God I pulled out of it. And as of right now, just waiting for a kidney.
Wow. So brother, now all that ordeal, like nobody advised you. So wait, you said you was out for 30 days. The
Roughly
initial
a month, yeah.
roughly about approximately 30 days. Let's just say
Yeah.
30 days. And they paid you for those days? You didn't have to
Yeah.
use your time or anything?
No. I didn't use any of my time. It's basically a
So
line of duty injury at the time.
so if so how so so then how was it no paperwork generated? I mean, you could say I don't know, but the question is out there. If they paid you for 30 days, right, and
Yeah.
you didn't lose none of your time, I would assume that was a line of duty injury.
And so this is what I thought, but I was asking multiple guess I asked the department if it's line of duty, and they stated it's not. It's not line of duty. So they said it considered it as like a personal injury,
Now,
basically.
I made a lot of calls because Damien brought this to my attention. I made a lot of calls, and that's one of the things I heard. So they were like, I said,
I
but
can't hear AJ. His
you can't
mic
hear me.
is off.
You can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now, Derek? You can't hear me? All right, Damon, take over. If you can't hear me, he can hear you.
I don't know what question you was going to ask.
No,
Can you hear me, Derek?
Yeah, I can hear you.
yeah, I was gonna ask about the. So they were saying that you got hurt.
Yeah, I still
Your-
can't hear AJ.
His
His mic
injury
is
wasn't
off.
in the line of duty.
He said he still can't hear you.
That's so
AJ.
they were trying to say. No, so ask him. They were saying that his injury. They're trying to say his injury wasn't in the line of duty. He caught COVID on his own. That was not a work injury.
I can't hear him.
So ask that question.
All right. So he was saying. So AJ was saying that they are saying that you caught COVID outside of work, right? But But
But
all
you
right, I'll
can't.
let you answer. That don't even make sense. But I'll let you answer it.
You can't tell where I got. Nobody could know where they got the COVID from. You're going into
Right.
multiple houses every day, and it's like an invisible enemy where you can't see it.
Right.
But it just
So I
seems
just
like
want to ask you the paperwork, right? Because I know this is just me. When I get injured on a job, there's a certain form that I filled out, right,
yeah,
to say that I got injured. Now, if I get sick on the job, right, and it could be sick because of exposure of anything, they're not going to trigger me to go fill out an incident report now because I got sick on the job from exposure.
yeah.
So what I want to ask is, where was your union? Because you may not know the steps that you need to take, but there should be safeguards there so we wouldn't be here now.
You're absolutely correct. And I asked multiple times if I could consider it line of duty, and I was told no, it's not. It's not line of duty. I was told it's not line of duty.
Mm.
So why would I put in for it if they said it's not line of duty?
Right. And which it was,
Mm-hmm.
and which state law, federal law for first responders during COVID was considered line of duty work.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's not only the union's not the only one responsible. The municipality is also responsible to understand the laws that were in effect through COVID. And not only that, they got ARPA money from the American Rescue Plan, which that money was sent to municipalities and governments throughout the United States to cover them for these issues, especially first responders to make sure that the city was reimbursed for them recognizing the situation of Brother Williams, you know, as a job injury and compensating for the money. So you had federal law, you had New York state law, right? You know, to cover it, and the union and the municipality was supposed to be up to date on the laws at that time of COVID. You know, and that's the craziness about it, because you know, you could look and see other cities even around as examples that actually use that money for that. You know, you know, a lot of people use ChatGPT, a lot of people use Grok, but you can also use Google and find it out. If you know, I mean, it wasn't hard, but you know, I think, and I will go to Mike Hanna next. You know, I really think it was a failure, you know, to even, because here's the thing: if he caught COVID and it was recognized as 207C, which it was, and you just can't tell a man that it's not without giving him due process. He never had a hearing. He never had a 207. They didn't give him anything. This is no. That's not up to a supervisor to say that. That's up to an arbitrator to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So he was denied due process.
Mm-hmm.
He was denied due process. You put it in anyway, but he wasn't told to put it in. And then they didn't even look at the laws that applied even at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, I mean, they got a problem and they have to deal with it. Mike?
Yes, sir. Brother Derek, I just want you to know I support you fully, man. And I just ask you to stay in prayer. And we are going to try to do the best we can for you, because about 15 years ago, I was in your same situation in White Plains. I was injured by a supervisor. The lieutenant on the desk did put me out 207C. Thank God for her. But long story short, I had to fight until 2024 before I got my pension.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for folks like Damon and AJ, and the good Lord Almighty, you know, I don't know what would have happened to me, because my union wasn't there for me. City Hall wasn't there for me, and they tried to battle you with their charter or the book of rules. Long story short, again, around 2017, they signed a new contract, and the chief of police gets to decide if you got hurt or worthy of 207C, if your injury was caused in the line of duty. I was out injured, I didn't know, and I got a phone call from the union president that they were firing me in like 10 days. So this unfortunately happens to Black cops in Westchester County. I saw it happen with two other brothers I worked with. They were able to receive disability pensions, but it took a lot longer than our white counterparts. You know, the union throws a benefit at an Irish pub for them as soon as they get hurt. They usually pay a great portion of their lawyer fees, and they usually get their pension within like 18 months, the longest I've ever seen. But it's not the same game for us, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you that.
Right. Brother Donnie, welcome. Brother Donnie Moore, he's a retired Mount Vernon police officer. And brother, what's your opinion on what's going on right now?
Okay, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I had this iPhone, iMac. Sometimes the iPhone takes over. That's why I disappeared. I had to disconnect it from the system.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, speak a little louder.
No, like the mic.
You're a little low.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me just see what's going on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, he's having a problem hearing, because he can't hear me either. So he's having a problem on his end.
On my end?
Not you.
No, Derek.
Derek can't hear me either. So he's having a problem on his end.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I can hear you.
All right, first
You can
and
hear,
foremost,
you can hear me
I
now?
can't hear Donnie, and I can't hear AJ.
Oh, see.
All right, Donnie, go on. We have to sign language you, Derek. So you might.
I'm gonna sign out and sign back in.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Donnie.
Go ahead, Donnie.
technology, your best friend or your worst enemy.
Exactly.
No, we speaking some high level ish right now. That's what the Matrix coming out trying to stop the information.
Go ahead,
You hear
brother
me now,
Donnie.
Derek?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
All right.
You hear me
First
too?
and
You hear
foremost,
me?
I apologize.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I apologize that you're going through this whole issue. After talking with you, several members, community members, i.e. AJ and Damon, and getting to the root of the issue, I'm just going to give you a little bit of history of Mount Vernon Police Department. When I came on the department, there were no more than 10 minority officers out of the department of 220 members. Today, the majority of that department is Black. Today, 70% of that department's administrators, supervisors are Black, but they are doing nothing for positive change. Absolutely nothing. When we were under the control, and I'm not a racist person, but when we were under control of the white man, things didn't get like this. It's when you have these Black administrators now, i.e. the key culprit in this whole scenario, Gregory Addison. But I'm going to address that on Wednesday, okay? I'm dropping the bomb on Wednesday. This started with him, the former PBA president, Master Giorgio, who dropped the ball because I tried to get in contact with him several times this past week on the question of, when you told him that Deputy Chief Addison told you were not eligible for 207C, did he confer with the union's attorneys, Steve Isaacs? I have not gotten a response back from him yet. That makes me believe he never told the union attorney about this. That drops the ball as far as the union, because the union president is a representative of the union. Secondly, I asked 2 prior union attorneys, did Steve Isaacs ever give the Mount Vernon PBA literature on the laws of COVID and first responders? It was told to me, no. So you got Greg Addison, you got Anthony Master Giorgio, you got Steve Isaacs. Next, you have Human Resources in City Hall. Did they ever render any sort of assistance to you? Derek?
No.
Okay.
No, at the time, no.
Okay. Did civil service ever render any assistance to you?
No. No.
Okay. So what we have here is a grave injustice to an individual. Now, there's one thing that in this whole scenario that I see that you did wrong. At the beginning, when you approached Addison, you never put it on paper. That's the only thing you did wrong. But they always say the city, the Mount Vernon PD is a family. That's bullshit. All they're doing is chasing the dollar. That's all they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? At this junction of this issue, as we sit here today, come July 1st, what's going to happen?
Terminate.
You'll be back at square one. You will be back at square one. Now, hopefully after Wednesday, some sort of positive steps will be done to rectify the issue that you have. Okay?
Yeah.
There's some intricacies in as far as the contract based on when I retired. I don't know how it's worded now, but you would have to go out on disability retirement to be eligible for lifetime medical, or you would have to do 20 continuous years. Where does that put you at today?
Oh, I have about 19 years. About
Now,
roughly.
Where does that put you at as we speak today?
Well,
You
that
would be
would
short. He gonna be short. Yeah.
If I don't get it,
You're right,
if I don't get
right.
the
He will
207C.
be right. He will be short. He will be short.
Now the whole
because
issue. Now I'm not really too versed in 207C. I just read small pieces of it, because it never pertained to me. The city council would have to step in and intervene and draft legislation to give you an exemption.
No. He
That's
has
the only
to.
way I
That's
see this happening.
no.
Damon, you're saying something, but I'm not hearing you.
Oh, am I on mute? Hello?
Nah,
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
I can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
It's crazy.
AJ was moving his mouth. But
We can all hear you.
Oh, Donnie
so
might
now,
have to
now
sign in
Derek
again.
can hear us, but Donnie can't hear us.
Well, listen. Here's the thing. See, with 207,
Damon
with
is talking, but I'm
207C,
not hearing a thing.
He has Donnie sign in, sign out, and sign in.
Sign out and sign back in. That's what Derek had to do.
All right, let's try that.
So while Donnie's doing that, we got to get straight with 207C. They're already court of appeals. There's already case law as far as Derek. He was denied due process. Now, on January 8th, he submitted his report. He submitted his 207C, his 207C request. They have to honor that. They cannot, once he submitted that, they cannot say we're not going to have a hearing. He still do a hearing. It's nothing Mount Vernon can do with that. Now, the legislation, going to the legislators can make a recommendation on giving his 207C, having the hearing, because the medical is clear, right? Look, the law is clear. The law is clear from federal law that first responders were covered, from New York state law, protective of assumption that does not the city has to prove that he didn't catch COVID from working, not him proving it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's New York state law. So
But
now
David,
you got federal law, you got New York state law, and the city got $41 million of ARPA money, which some of that money was supposed to cover when first responders got sick.
I have a question,
Now,
Damon.
yes.
How much of that opera money was directed towards first responders?
I don't know. That's a question you gotta ask. You gotta ask the city council, the mayor, and the controller.
Well, I hope they have the answer on Wednesday.
Well, they're gonna have to ask because see, if he was already, and here's another question: if he was out for 30 days when he caught COVID, Donnie, what was he out on? And they paid him. He didn't use his sick time. He didn't use his accrued time. They paid him for 30 days.
And the supervisor somewhere had to document all of that.
Exactly. So how nobody have no documentation? And the man was out for 30 days on COVID.
Who was the commissioner back then?
Out for 30 days?
I was out roughly for a month, yeah.
Who was the commissioner back then?
I was out for a month.
I don't know. I don't remember.
You know, what the city's trying to do is say, oh, you wear a New York Jets uniform and you score touchdowns for the New York Jets, but you don't play for them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Or the New York Knicks for AJ.
Right. So let me ask a question, David. I want to address the question I told you that I was told, so he can address it. So I was told from City Hall that you got approved by the state for your retirement. Oh, he disappeared.
Well, ask the question. I can answer it.
Right. I was told that on Tuesday he got
mute on my end.
Me? I was told on Tuesday he was approved for his retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that means nothing.
So they said he's good. He's retired. This is what they.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. And whoever told you that is they don't understand the law. There's a difference between getting your pension under 207C than getting disability. He's literally losing money, and the fact that he's on Medicaid and not having the city's insurance.
And if they medically retired him, that's the only money Mount Vernon will be responsible for is his medical. The state of New York is going to pay his pension, so it doesn't cost Mount Vernon anything on that end.
Right. But there's two different amount of money, so he's still losing money.
Oh yeah,
he's losing a lot of money.
Well, when he wins, they're going to retro him that, but he needs that now.
They're going to have to.
He needs that now.
They're going to have to retro him his 207C. They're going to have to credit his state retirement for his pension. They're going to have to reimburse him for the 2 years that he was paying the insurance premium himself. Like, first of all, what city government that an employee is not on payroll but still paying his insurance premium and no red flags go off in HR, no red flags go off in the controller's office, no red flags go off in the court, in the clerk's office, no red flags go off in the police department. For 2 years, he's paying his own insurance premium.
You forgot one thing, Damon.
What?
They have to pay him his back pay for over those 2-year time period.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I was basically paying myself with my sick time and my comp time.
Yeah. They got to give him all the sick time back. They got to give him everything back. And they have to give him a hearing. He submitted January 8th. He submitted all the paperwork that the mayor said that wasn't there.
And has he got
with the
any
timeline
yet?
Pardon me?
Have you gotten a response yet, Derek?
No.
Since January 8th?
No, nobody from the administration called me. No.
They haven't reached out to him. So
Most likely they're trying to call up to Albany and see what their options are.
January 8th, bro? Come on, dude.
Listen, Albany's going to tell him to give that man what he owe, because they're going to look at the laws at the time, and the fact that there's already some appellate court rulings. Sullivan County, the Ramos case, similar to Derek. Appellate court ruled that they have to give him his 207C and all the benefits that it's supposed to have. And this officer had lung disease from COVID. And they can't sit here and all these little rumors that they're saying. Every health organization in the world has put out reports of long-term COVID effects on organs, your eyesight, your lungs, your kidney, your liver. Those are documented reports. Like, I don't understand how nobody in City Hall or the police department understands this. When a man's life is on the line, this is not game playing and high school chitter chatter. Someone's life is on the line. I talked to the brother earlier and how he was on dialysis for all day. Like, I really don't understand how we playing games like that. This is far beyond just right or wrong. This is a spiritual issue that we just can't do what's right by each other. And it's a black police department. I hear more about Derek Then I hear when the white boys was going out there beating black people in Mount Vernon, and no one had anything to say about that. Nobody had anything to say about Bovell. And nobody had anything to say about my wife, with Richard Thomas and Joe Spezio. We should be ashamed of ourselves as black people to do this to our own people.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be the jewel of Westchester.
It was the original Black Wakanda, 50, 60 years ago.
Until our elected officials gave away our vibranium.
Exactly. We have to do better. And just like Donnie said, and I'm going to keep it 100. When I met my wife, everybody that's upstairs was in the patrol. And we started the National Black Police Association. I think the only one that was upstairs when they had the chapter there, around when Christopher Ridley was shot and killed. Everybody was downstairs. Everybody was in patrol. The only people that I think was upstairs was Mitch, and what was the other female detective that was upstairs? And we met at a restaurant on Gramerton Avenue. And it was a collective effort to make sure people got upstairs, black people. And now y'all the damn problem.
But let me ask you this. From what I've been told, I mean, during my career there, I got wrong twice. Was anything major? Nah, it wasn't. But I was still wrong. But what's happening now, and I hope a couple of officers from Mount Vernon PD are watching this program, why aren't blacks trying to better themselves? Why are they keep chasing the dollar? The dollar is there, it's going to come. But where is it going to be a time for positive change? I saw a news conference. Derek, no active members was there at your news conference. Back in the day, that would never have happened.
They're all scared now.
Well, their plight has changed. Their plight has changed.
They hold the power, though.
The plight has changed, though. I can't see myself in the person below me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Again, come Wednesday, it'll be a different tone. But right now, I can't understand why active members are not supporting you. I can't understand it. Why does it take retired members to come and support you? Why does it take a brother to come all the way from Virginia to New York to support you?
Mm-hmm.
This ain't business with me no more. This is personal because it's wrong. My black ass will be in New York on Tuesday morning. Okay? Tuesday freaking morning. I'm coming to New York like a freaking Category 10 hurricane. Okay? I went after the Richard Thomas administration. Now I'm going after the Mount Vernon PD and City Hall and the so-called mayor who said she didn't know this was happening. It's not a problem. And I hope, and I'm going to put it out there now, there are certain members of the Mount Vernon Police Department that shouldn't be there because they lied on their police application. And I know personally because I did the investigation. Now, I want to see if the evidence disappears. I want to see if it disappears. So my brother, you got support, brother. It's coming.
You coming in with the fire right after the storm. Go ahead.
I'm coming in like Thor.
I'm coming with ice with ice telling me license siren all the way from VA to New York. That's a whole other topic because this country, I'm telling you, it's gonna blow up.
I got a question for Brother Derek, though.
Let Mike go with the question. Go ahead.
In your career, how many black officers there were awarded 207C, to your knowledge? I mean, I know you're not internal affairs.
I'm not Quite a few.
Oh, they were,
Quite a
and they
few.
didn't have the problems you did.
No, I don't think so.
You know the most recent, how long it was?
Really not sure.
Okay.
Last year.
Oh, somebody got 3 quarters last year?
Yeah, last apparently there was a sister who was working. She got hit by a car.
Okay.
It was on video.
Okay.
And Deputy Chief Addison said, "Oh, you're not eligible because you were on your lunch break."
Yeah, I remember that one.
What sort of bull is that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a different game for black officers because I've seen yeah, it's a different game. Yeah, 207C wasn't a problem until black officers started to get it.
No, the problem in Mount Vernon is you got black administrators that have screwed up the whole system. Years ago, under white command, this would not have happened. Would not have happened.
I'm going to say
what
this.
I've been hearing is down to one person that started all of this, and that's Deputy Chief Addison. But I got something for him, though.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, man. We have a Donnie, and you know, and if Corey Begee was on the show or Charles Billups was on the show, you know, and one day I'm just bring everybody on. We listen. I love a lot of black officers. I love y'all. I love y'all to death. But black officers today is different from black officers in the 90s. Black when I got the job, you know, and the mentorship is different. See, when I got the job, my mentors, they were police officers, correction officers that was in the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party. You understand what I'm saying? Like they rolled a little bit different than black officers today. And I told AJ, and I said it before, when I had to have press conferences on supporting officers, I had to import black officers from New York City. I couldn't get Westchester black officers to come out and stand up. I'm going to tell you 100%. So when y'all see them old press conferences, they ain't Westchester black officers. They from Long Island. They from the Bronx.
Corey, Charles, and Darren and all of them came from Long Island.
They from Manhattan.
And some of the other ones came from Manhattan and Brooklyn. And
they wasn't from Westchester.
A few of them came from upstate. You had even some upstate ones came through.
Exactly. We have to show unity, but we don't show no unity like that anymore. That's why I think I'm just a dinosaur. But y'all can have that because if you don't stick together, black officers, they're going to eat you. They're going to eat you alive because it's no way that this should happen to this black officer. And people are not understanding their contract and understanding the laws and actually going to black organizations, black national black police organizations to understand the game. To understand the game.
But you know what the issue is, right, Damon?
What?
The issue is there is no unity at Mount Vernon PD unless you go and hanging out at some damn bar.
That's every department that's got black officers.
That's every department.
You know, why? When I was working, Yonkers had a very strong union. Okay, Mount Vernon's union was nowhere near that. Why is that?
I'm told Yonkers still has a pretty good PPA.
Okay, but why doesn't Mount Vernon have a good PPA? And the department is majority black. 70% of the supervisors are black. So why doesn't Mount Vernon have a good PPA?
Well, two things. This is my personal.
Everyone's so new.
Well, everybody's new. Here's my personal opinion. First of all, the supervisors should not be in the same union as the patrolmen. They are two different interests. See, part of the problem with Derek, and part of the problem with my wife, and part of the problem with Bovell. See, when your supervisors are screwing you, they're in the same union as you. It's a conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's there too. The supervisors, sergeant and above, have different interests than detectives and patrolmen. Totally different interests. And this is why people get screwed. Because there's a conflict of interest in having everybody in the same union.
That's right.
Because those people they're not going to fight for you, because why? Because they're fighting another union member, another dues-paying member. And that's one of the biggest problems that I see in Mount Vernon. They're all in the same union.
You know, I just want to say to all the Black officers who are not speaking up, who are not standing with you, what gets me about this, history should have told you.
I'm not hearing AJ.
You're looking at what's going to happen to you if you get into the same situation.
That's right.
You know, and then you're going to be coming to somebody to try to help you out. And when you don't stand with other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got no allies when it comes time for them. You need people to stand with you. Like this, what happened to him could happen to any one of y'all.
True.
Any one of y'all. And
I'm hearing nothing he's saying.
And that's what I'm not understanding. Like,
I don't know what's going on. It's probably the system.
You got to sign in.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I make it clear to everybody that's listening. After Derek, Damon K. Jones is retired. Y'all are on your own.
Critical thinking.
Y'all better learn and read your contract and go to some of these conferences and understand what the game is all about. Be a student of the game, because your life and your career is going to depend on it. We could get a whole bunch of Black officers to party. They're all in the party.
That's what they do.
When Black officers party
and work overtime.
But we can't get y'all to come to conferences and understand the institution that you're a part of. I don't know what happened. For 25 years, I used to go to conferences all around the world. Even went to Ireland and was amazed that there were Black cops in Ireland. And when you travel outside of New York and you're not partying all the time, you learn that you're not the only one going through the same thing. And then you'll learn how other Black officers got through issues. And lawsuits and everything like that. But y'all sit and y'all just party with each other. You just party with each other. And I don't care if y'all don't like me, I'm retired. But that's just not police officers. That's not police officers. That's correction officers too. Them Negroes up at the jail, all they do is party too.
Yep.
All they do is party too. And try to get some overtime.
Or study all day to pass that test.
And when the white boys say something, they jump.
That's what they do in my facility, and I'm still inside.
Yeah. So like it's a culture problem. It's a culture problem.
We hate to say the term, but blue slaves.
Blue slaves.
Yeah, that's not mine.
It's going to have to change because the older officers are stepping away, and the culture shouldn't be let's make money, let's get overtime. The culture should be changing. The culture, especially in the Black communities. Now, I'm not saying y'all are bad cops. I'm saying y'all need to get a little more focused. See, because Black people died to make sure that you had that test. You would be able, you ain't get, see, just because you passed the test and got hired, you was able to take that test off of somebody's blood, sweat, and tears.
Yep.
You didn't get there on your own. Just because you was able to take a test. You didn't get there. Listen, Black officers, you didn't get there on your own. There were decades of Black officers before you who fought to make sure you are where you're at now. Because I knew them. And they were very different. When my sergeant Alan Carden was attacked by some white, was verbally attacked, he stood on his own by some white correction officers at the jail. Out, y'all could Google him. At that time, he was chief of probation of New York. He was the highest ranking Black official in New York state government at that time. Him and another partner came to Allen's house with guns in the trunk. Straight music. They were about that life. That's what I came up under. And that's why I was able to have a press conference and talk about racist officers and go to the briefing at work and stand right next to the one I might have been talking about. About that life. So we can't sit here and allow this to happen to another Black officer. How does that make us look? Because I'm telling you, the white officers don't do that. They have a white code regardless. Regardless, they have a white code. They take care of theirs. Even if theirs were in the wrong. They don't be running around talking about them behind their back. What is wrong with us? I didn't be out here fighting for Black officers to make sure they got hired all throughout Westchester County. For y'all to be yapping behind another Black officer's back that needs help. This is insane. That's why I can't wait till my wife retires. And we're going to fix Derek. And good luck after that. Good luck.
So Damon, let everybody know.
This is crazy.
Let everybody know what time in front of City Hall, the city council meeting, what they got to do. Tell it, share. Make sure you share that again.
It's Wednesday, January 28th. The press conference is at 6:30 p.m. in front of City Hall on the steps. Just look for the podium.
Look for black cowboy hat, the black left suit on.
Yeah, exactly. Look for the podium and the cowboy hat. We be right there, brother with the cowboy hat at 6:30, and then we're going inside. He said, Danny says they have an extremely vindictive administration, especially if you stand against the grain. But that might be true. Man.
That's every city. That's every municipality. Don't matter.
If y'all all stick together, they can't do a goddamn thing.
Oh, hold on. What they say? Scared money don't make no money. I'm just saying. That's what they say.
Exactly. If you stick together, they can't do it. How do you think change got in police departments all these years? It was officers sticking together.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't happening.
There was one.
That's not happening at Mount Vernon PD. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of officers were working during COVID. They went to other departments. blah, 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 blah. It was time for a contract. Fat girl, Richie Thomas Part 2, in a skirt, told them she wasn't going to give them a contract unless they put in a clause that those officers that transferred didn't get paid. And this is what I'm saying, they chased the dollar. Do you know they voted on it and it passed to agree with her? So that basically said they were transferring officers without $1,000. That's BS, straight up BS.
Mm-mm.
Okay?
Yeah, but unions do stuff like that all the time. But it is BS to agree with you, brother. But yeah, that was like when I was on, and the old timers voted that those new hires had to pay 5%. What was it, 25% of the medical or something like that? But it was the old timers that sold us out.
Man, for eons, Mount Vernon PBA been selling out members. Okay, just like I had a lawsuit, me and I think 7 or 8 other retirees. We had a lawsuit against the city of Mount Vernon based on the verbiage of the contract. Okay, it got up to the PBA spent like $50,000, and they said, "Oh, we're not giving you our money any more money." We opted to come out of our pockets. We lost the case, and I don't agree with the judge's decision because she based her decision on past practice, and our lawsuit was based on us not doing it according to past practice. Yet, the union benefited because now all officers, before they retire, can utilize their sick days up to 9 months. So who gained from the lawsuit? The union did, but they didn't want to support us anymore. You understand what I'm saying? But it's okay. I still got love for them. And Derek, like I said, this ain't business for me no more. It's personal because enough of effing officers over. And in your case, that's without the KY. That's not telling you to bend over. That's just on your ass over.
Oh.
And unfortunately, Mayor Patterson will be out of town. But it's okay, though. If the word to get back to it, Donnie came to town and talked mad trash about it. Yes, I did. I have no problems with it. When she was running for, what was it, re-election? She was on Facebook lying her ass off. And I threw something out there, and she called up Mount Vernon PD. Anybody got Donnie's number? Oh. Then she had to contact her brother, former fire commissioner. He was like, Donnie, she want to speak to you on the 3-way. I ain't got no problems with that. This ain't personal, it's business. But in Derek's case, this is personal, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, but everybody listening should realize that she could have ended this months ago with a simple call up to Albany, and those who work underneath her and say, "We're going to do this for this young man, and let's get it over with." So morally, where's their moral compass?
There is
exactly.
nothing.
Right.
I was going to say, what moral
Yeah,
compass?
exactly. Because City Hall could have took care of this.
When I came on that job, some old timers said, Don, you're just the number. That's all you are.
But even with me, it just didn't make sense because I was willing to come back to work, and I had doctors to come back to work. And they totally disregarded it and gave me a termination letter instead.
Exactly. And another thing. Huh?
You know where that termination letter originated from. You know already.
Yeah.
And I spoke to their officers on the phone. The chief, acting police commissioner, he did not want to touch your subject with a 10-foot pole with me because he knew. You understand? Okay. Everything was, I can't talk about the this and that, but was your name on the termination letter? That's all I wanted to know. I can't talk about it, Don. That was a simple yes, because Derek, you told me Jay Oliver's signature was on the termination letter.
Yeah, he signed it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you really want to get funky, I can't remember where it's written at, but only a commissioner or mayor could terminate an employee at Mount Vernon PD. He's acting commissioner. So there's a little issue with that going on too.
Who's acting commissioner?
Oliver.
Jay Oliver. He's not the commissioner. And I don't know where it's written at, but I do recall reading it. It can only be the mayor or the commissioner of public safety. Jay Oliver is not the commissioner of public safety. He is the acting commissioner of public safety. So you'd have to speak to an attorney on the legal definition of that in that documentation.
Then we also got to find it. We definitely got to find it. But at the end of the day, there were laws protecting officers, and any officer that is listening, that is still listening, or that will listen in the future. There were laws to protect officers from COVID, to cover them, to make sure that they were job duty injuries. Whether what people said or not, whether he wrote it or not, it was the responsibility of the municipality to make sure that Williams had due process in the 207C hearing. And why the reports wasn't done, that's something you got to ask the union. The union has to ask. The union lawyer has to ask.
Oh, don't ask.
Why didn't they just submit it? Why didn't they just submit it and then let the process work out? I don't understand that. And it was sad, because when we had the press conference with Jesse Van Loo, Derek, when we went upstairs, that was the first time you've been to HR. Where the hell was HR?
Yeah.
They should have put you on FMLA the first day that you started using your own time when you was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
and let me
told
tell
me.
you, I was a union delegate for 13 years at Westchester County Department of Correction. That's what you get union days for, to go out and help officers. Even if you had to go to their house, have them fill out the paperwork, and take it where it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Union days is for doing union work and protecting your membership. If this man is on dialysis, take him the paperwork. Let him sign the paperwork, or let him go, let the doctor sign it, and go back, pick it up, and take it over. Mm-hmm. That's what you're supposed to do when you get your union days. Especially when you have a member that is sick and has kidney failure and that's on dialysis. And this is not personal to anybody, but this is how it's supposed to work, because we wouldn't be in this position today if he had FMLA. But now the city's looking at lawsuits, because to tell a man that's literally disabled that he can't come to work, now you're violating other federal laws against the disabled.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who makes what law books do y'all read? What policies do y'all read?
They only read it when they trigger to read.
There's a litany of mistakes. A litany of mistakes that should never happen to Derek.
Don't worry about it, bro. We're going to get you straight.
Exactly. Exactly.
And those that did you wrong, as AJ said, we're going to hold your feet to the fire, hold the fire to your
feet. and everybody make sure they call City Hall to speak on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So we can put it all on the record, and that the city council will have to respond. They're going to have to respond with the report. And we're also going to request again. Huh?
I bet you they don't be prepared.
Well, we'll see.
Well, we definitely going to see, because as soon as they see my black, they're like, oh, there's that nigga again. He taxed
Well, they're gonna have to respond, bro. First of all, they're gonna have to. By law, they're gonna have to give them a 207C hearing. They can hold off all they want. They're just violating the law.
So you told everybody they got to call the city to speak at this Mount Vernon City Council meeting. You need to call the city clerk's office at 914 914-665-2300. 914-665-2300 to register to speak at the city council meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. And make sure everybody register to speak. And we'll be at 6:30. We'll be in front of City Hall at the press conference. Then we all going upstairs. Brother Danny O'Grady. I was told that you coming out, and it's good to see Brother Danny O'Grady, my friend, and other retired Mount Vernon police officers need to come out, and the active officers need to stand out there too, because this affects you.
It could happen to anybody.
This is the third time a black officer has been left out in the cold. My wife, Bovell, and now Williams. Coming together. So, it has to stop. It really has to stop. And a lot of y'all are very good officers, but you got to have some unity. Because the next person might be you. And I'm changing my number after my wife retired.
Don't call me looking for Damon.
Or me.
Straight music, because I'm not dealing with this no more. It's very sad.
Let's see how many active members show up at City Hall on Wednesday at 6:30. Let's just see.
Derek, I got one last question. Has clergy reached out to you, supported you privately, publicly?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay.
Oh no. Well, my personal church has.
Oh, your personal church. Okay. But those big churches in Mount Vernon, none of those pastors did nothing? Okay.
Nah.
I had to ask.
Nah. Listen, they're consistent. None of them came out for my wife. None of them came out for Bovell. Ain't none of them coming out. One thing they are is consistent. Zero due process, no care of officers. Oh, put that back up. Only fear, intimidation, position changes, etc. Exactly, Danny.
And Cheryl reminded me, so you can't call City Hall tomorrow because it will be closed. I get the notice. So you have to call Tuesday or Wednesday if you want to speak.
Yeah, make sure people close.
You won't get nobody tomorrow. City Hall is closed.
Yeah, we got to straighten it out. And Blacks in Law Enforcement of America is writing a official letter to the council, to the council, and it will be Tuesday. It will be up online. So everybody can read it. It's full transparency on where we stand as a national Black law enforcement organization in supporting our brother Derek Williams. We're gonna make it clear where we stand. We're gonna make it clear of the laws and legislation that the city is constantly violating in this man's rights, and the recommendations of what we want to see from the city and a time frame that is going to have to happen. We'll be right back in front of City Hall, because this is not a game. I don't know what people are thinking. This is not a game when a man's life is on the line, and he served the city of Mount Vernon well and did his job. Not everybody's perfect, but he did the job that he was supposed to do, and he's due the protections that the federal government and the state said he had, and he still has. And if nobody can understand that, then you ain't got no heart and your spirit is dead. So any last words, Derek?
That's about it. Just come out and support. I'll make sure I'll be there.
Exactly. You're gonna be there, brother. We're gonna make sure you're there, man. We're gonna make sure you're there.
You can be there, trust me.
Oh, help permit, sometimes,
through the damn snowstorm. You hear what I'm saying?
Sometimes my mind want to go, but my body is just saying, nah, man. You know?
I come pick your black ass up. You know what I'm saying? We got like a half an inch, and they freaked out here in Virginia. I'm like, yo, y'all have no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, I had to run out because my beautiful wife said, oh my God, I didn't buy enough food. So I did it quick too, because there's a little thing called Quick Check down the street. and Derek laughing. And, and it got all, it's like a grocery store and a gas station. Man, I had to clear off my truck and throw it in the 4-wheel drive low. And I trucked all the way down there, man. But it's dude, it's bad out there. Like, I got a Jeep Wrangler. Then I was having a little fun, flipping it, turning it. With the one hand, like the snow just going over. Then I came home, man. And on the way home, I saw a car accident. I was like, Jesus Christ. Right. But it's bad out there. It's really bad. I hope everybody stayed great. Derek was always nothing short of a gentleman, great partner who's worthy of everyone's support. Thank you, Dan. No, man, thank you, man. And I'll see you Wednesday. Yeah, and I'll see you Wednesday, my brother. Listen, man, after the thing, man, we gotta go across the street. I haven't seen Danny in a minute, bro. We gotta go across the street and have a drink, man. We all got it because I've seen Donnie, me and Donnie, we talk. But just to hang out and fellowship, Derek, you can't drink.
No,
but
absolutely.
You have some water, man.
You can have a mocktail. It's okay. It's a new thing called mocktails.
But we, because I haven't seen Danny in a minute, man. I mean, and Donnie, we talk all the time. So, and Mike, I ain't seen you. Mike coming, so I haven't really seen Mike. We go, but Mike don't drink. But
you just gotta pray the Pittsburgh runways get clear tomorrow. So I'm flying. I ain't driving, but I'll get there. I'll be there.
So it's a brotherhood, man, and we just gotta. I hope the young officers understand it's beyond having fun, man. It's a brotherhood, and it's about empowering, man. We gotta empower ourselves. Not just black officers, but white officers too, and everybody that think alike. Everybody that think alike. Yeah, there's some fools on with every color, but we just gotta empower ourselves because we the only ones that's gonna save us. As Barbara Edwards says, ain't nobody saving us but ourselves. She said that early on today in the show. Ain't nobody else gonna come and save you but yourself. Mm-hmm. You can wait for Jesus all you want, but you got to put the work in. Even Jesus gonna tell you to put the work in.
True. Well, faith without works is dead.
Exactly. So we got to do it, man. And I want to thank everybody. Derek, I want to thank you for standing up and being strong, man, with everything that you're going through. You still doing your thing, man. Yeah. Mike, I want to thank you for your continued support. And Donnie, I want to thank you for coming on. And listen, man, we about to get up out of here.
A couple of quick announcements, real quick. So we did say City Hall's closed tomorrow. Parking rules are suspended for the whole week. And anybody who's homeless or knows or is out without electricity or something, they have warming centers. One is at the Adult Center on 22 East 1st Street. They got everything you need: hot water, blankets, a place to rest and get some heat. They're open today and tomorrow, the 25th and the 26th. So if you know somebody who needs that information, tell them. Those are the two informations. Everybody be warm out there. You shoveling, take it easy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out there.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe.
Everybody be safe and make sure you being blacktastic in your house.
And check on your elders, check on the vulnerable, check on each other.
Your elders, your neighbors. Yes, your elders, your neighbors. Yes.
Y'all be
so
safe.
God
man.
bless everybody. We out. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night.
On Wednesday, January 28th at Mount Vernon, New York City Hall, law enforcement and the community are coming together at Mount Vernon City Hall to stand with Officer Derek Williams, a 19-year police veteran battling kidney failure after contracting COVID while protecting the city. A press conference begins at 6:30 p.m., followed by the city council meeting at 7 p.m. Join us to demand that Mount Vernon follow state and federal laws protecting officers who contracted COVID-19 during the pandemic. Call 914-665-2300 to sign up to speak, in person or via Zoom. Silence protects failure. Presence demands accountability. This Valentine's Day, make it sweet with Cupcake Cutie Boutique. They're serving fresh, hand-dipped chocolate-covered strawberries, perfect for date night, gifts, or a treat for yourself. For a limited time, order through DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Grubhub, and get 20% off our chocolate-covered strawberries. Love should taste this good. But don't wait, this Valentine's Day deal won't last long. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Rep the movement. Get your official Black Westchester merch today. Hoodies, tees, and more at blackwestchestermerch.shop. Wear your voice, make a statement. Damon K. Jones exposes the lies and challenges the gatekeepers in Black politics in his powerful book, Emotional Politics and Logical Failure. Black America needs fewer emotions and more outcomes. Our communities deserve better. On sale now, get the book or audiobook on Amazon, From the Streets of Westchester to the Heart of Hip Hop. Discover A. J. Woodson's powerful collection. Black Westchester, the origin story. We got our own thing. Hip hop from the 9, 1, 4, and Black Westchester celebrate Black women of Westchester. Available now at blackwestchester.com and on Amazon. Get your copies today. Tolerance is for Cowards by Damon K. Jones. This book is not anti-police, it's pro-community. Discover how the extended policing strategy empowers you to demand real public safety, justice, and accountability from your local police department. Because the Black community deserves good policing. On sale now on Amazon and Audible. Discover Jesus and Divine Black Masculinity by Damon K. Jones. This a bold blueprint to restore faith, manhood, and purpose in Black America. Because the Black community needs good Black men. Available now on Amazon. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and share it with others who need to hear the truth. And for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, join the Black Westchester Magazine YouTube membership club today. Your support helps us keep independent Black media strong. Big thank you for the Super Chat support. We appreciate your help in keeping the conversation and independent Black media strong. Black Westchester is the... Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent Black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.